Cool. Now let's talk a little bit about using goals to formulate daily actions. I think this is really useful stuff. Let me see if we got any questions or comments over here just yet. All right, awesome. We're doing good. Cool. All right, so the next thing is using goals. All right, so if you haven't read, I'm gonna close this because they're a little loud out there. All right, so if you haven't read Atomic Habits, we get a little bit of this from Atomic Habits, and it's just an amazing book. I've read it, I think, about 6 times now. Such a good book. And before I read this book, me and Colby had been having many conversations around goals. And I had this intuition that I felt like goals, they can be useful for some people, but for a lot of people, they're very derailing. Okay, and I can go through so many different examples. This is the definition of a goal: the result or achievement toward which effort is directed, an aim, an end. Okay. When you think about it, we're not looking for the goal. We're looking for the things that we need to do on a daily basis that will get us to whatever it is that we think our goal is. So what's most important is our daily actions. Okay. So this is what I call cultivating a healthy relationship with goals. I've had clients that come in here. Actually, it happens all the time. They come in here to work with me. One of their biggest priorities is losing weight. Of course, I'm like, we all want to look good. We all want optimal body composition. It's very important to all of us. Sometimes these clients will have a number goal, like a weight goal, right? By a certain time, by a certain deadline. And I've had clients that have come in here and lost 30 pounds, 40 pounds, 50 pounds, 20 pounds in the span of 6 to 8 to 10 weeks. But because they did not hit the number that they wanted, it derailed them. When you look at how much they've transformed, not just on the scale, but also with their symptoms, their digestion, their energy levels, their clarity, their emotional stability, like it's kind of mind-boggling to me, but it's because I understand they don't have a healthy relationship with it. They feel like a failure if they don't hit this number. It happens like so often, it's ridiculous. Okay. And we all are probably guilty of that. I know that I was guilty of that as well before I understood this information, but that's where a goal can be kind of damaging for you. If you're so obsessed about that end result that you don't appreciate the changes that are happening in the moment and on a day-to-day basis, then it can be kind of derailing. We've got people here in the gym sometimes that can't do a pull-up, and their goal is to get a pull-up at some point. Or maybe their goal is to get 10 pull-ups. And let's say 3 months down the road, they can't do a pull-up, but they can, hang from a bar for a significant period of time. Or maybe they can't do 10 pull-ups, but they get 3 pull-ups. I mean, some people will get derailed by that because they're not hitting their goal. But when you think about the progress that they've made, that's what really matters, right? So this is what we mean by having a healthy relationship with goals. You have to understand, what is the purpose of a goal in the first place? When you really think about it, the purpose of a goal is to help you formulate some action steps so that you can move forward. And ideally, you're formulating some kind of habits and routines that are contributing to you accomplishing this goal. And so then whether you actually accomplish the goal or not, or you're close or past it or before it or something like that, isn't anywhere near as important as the action steps that goal helped you to create. Okay. So we mentioned before, you want to have a healthy relationship with goals, meaning it's okay to have something to shoot for, as long as you understand the purpose of that is to get you to create some daily actions. And you want to have this freedom and flexibility with detachment from the outcome, because this freedom and flexibility is where all the magic in life happens. Okay. So most of us are very uncomfortable with certainty. And when you think about what certainty is the known. It is our past. It is the old version of ourselves. So in reality, we want to embrace uncertainty because that's where the magic of life happens, right? It's like we want to have this goal and we want to create some daily actions to move us forward, but we don't want to be so set on this goal that it keeps us it contributes to us missing opportunities. So as an example, if I'm this young kid and I think that I want to grow up to be a doctor, which, by the way, most kids don't know what the heck they want to be, but they're being influenced by other people and adults and thinking, oh, this is going to be a good job. And, like, nobody knows what the heck they want to do when they're a kid. But let's just say that this kid, like, is dead set on being a doctor for the rest of his life, right? And so moving forward, he's so tunnel visioned on this idea of being a doctor that you don't see other possibilities and other opportunities. And at some point, a lot of these people, because I know them, and that was myself for a little bit, you get this thing that you think you want, and it wasn't really what you wanted. But because you were so dead set on it, you have to stay with it because you've told everyone that this is what you want to do, and you spent so much time and money and everything moving towards it. the way to live life is to have what you think you want in front of you and to move towards it a little bit. And as you get information, you want to be detached from that outcome so you have the flexibility to change course if you need to, or to change your daily actions, or to change something so that you're much more flexible. This is where the magic of life happens. This is how we have adventure and excitement. And you could take this to very simple, small things. You know, I think about sometimes I have a talk across town at a corporate client, and initially, like I'm nervous about it or something. Well, I can start to see that nervousness as excitement and say to myself, this is an adventure. I don't know what's going to happen here. I know what I think I want to happen, but between here and the end of the meeting, who knows what's going to happen? It's going to be awesome and fun and exciting. And every single time I go into this, and it's like a different experience from what I could have expected, right? So we want to embrace the wisdom of uncertainty and understand that uncertainty is where the magic of life happens. It's where the adventure happens. We don't want to know what is going to happen to us today, tomorrow, in the future. We want to have an idea of what it is that we think we want. We want to move towards it, but we also want to understand that between here and there is an infinity of possibilities to happen. That, you know, as long as I'm open to them, I can bring them into my experience and allow them to happen. Okay. Also, there's no such thing as a wrong turn. There's just a new turn with a new set of possibilities. Let's say that I make the worst possible decision in this moment regarding something. Life still goes on. And chances are, depending on how I choose to perceive it, because of that decision, I've probably learned something really good. And I have a new course in life now. And I have a new set of possibilities, a new set of opportunities. And we can all think back to some of the dumbest, worst decisions we've ever made in our lives. And we're still here. Actually, we're here because of those decisions. We're who we are because of those decisions. I had a crazy freaking upbringing. You know, I'm like many people, came from a broken home and had a lot of issues there with family stuff. And I got into drugs when I was in my early 20s, completely ruined my health. But I'm here because of that. I'm here doing what I'm doing, empowering other people because of my shitty life, or what I could say was a shitty life, right? I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that stuff. I'm here because of that, right? So it's easy to look back on things and say, oh, everything led me to where I am right now. But in the moment, you feel like it's the worst decision possible. Or you look back maybe short term and you're just like, you know, that was a bad decision. But the reality is all the decisions that we've made in the past have accumulated to where we are right now. And so anytime I make a decision, I'm going to make the best decision I can with the best information, the best choices. And the reason we're talking about this here is because we're talking about having this vision and moving forward and being nervous about like making the right choices or moving in the right direction or something. As long as you have this perception and you're trying to do your best with what you have, there's no such thing as a wrong turn. There's only new turns with new possibilities. And that's all there is to it. All right.